Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making Kathy's tangy lemon tea cake, and I can tell you this recipe is amazing. It's a beautiful little cake with a spongy bottom, a crumbly top, and it's full of lemon butter. And I'll show you how easy it was to make. So we're following Kathy's instructions, and Kathy's instructions say we need to make this lemon filling first. So that's where we're gonna start. So I've got a little saucepan here, and we're just gonna quickly combine some corn flour and water. And that's 1 teaspoon of corn flour. And then we just want a tablespoon of water. And then we just give those a little mix until they're nice and smooth. Didn't seem like a lot, did it? A teaspoon of corn flour. And then we're just gonna put that in our little pot. And then we want 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. I can't thank you guys enough for sending in lemon recipes. I do a shout out, you guys deliver. Oh, that's a juicy one. So I'll see how much 1 lemon is. Now 1 small lemon for me is just under 1/4 cup. So I'm going in for a little bit more. That's twice I've almost spilled it. And we better sieve those pips out. So 1/4 cup, which was 1.5 small lemons. And then we're putting 1/2 cup of caster sugar. You can see where we're headed with this, can't you? It's almost like we're making our own lemon butter. And then we're also putting an egg into this little pot. But Kathy says, give it a quick whisk and sieve it through the sieve that you've just sieved your lemon juice. And then I'll just give that a little push through with my little meanie, making sure I scrape it all off the bottom there. And then into here, we're also putting 60 grams of butter. And then we're just gonna get this on a low heat until it thickens and comes to the boil. So I've just got this on my smallest gas burner, and Kathy says, just keep stirring it until it thickens and comes to a boil. I can't chit chat too much when you're over here with me because I have to concentrate on holding the camera. Multitasking. My butter's all starting to melt. I can't feel any of the sugar anymore. And after about a minute, I think this is starting to thicken. I can feel that it's thickening up. So as soon as I see bubbles in this, I'm gonna turn it off. And you can see that that has thickened. Oh, it looks like lemon butter. How are we going for bubbles? There they are. So it's thickened up. It's just come to a boil. We turn it off. And you can see how thick that went. Oh, not quite as thick as lemon butter, but close. Now we're just gonna sit that aside to cool, but we're gonna reheat it again just before we pour it on our cake. So I better get that out from underneath my elbow. And now we can get onto the cake base or the cake batter or the cake crumble in this case. So the first thing we need is 1 cup of self-raising flour, and that's about 150 grams. And Kathy says, no need for sifting, straight in. And then we're adding 1/2 cup of caster sugar, and that's 110 grams. And then we just give that a little whisk. You can hear those white cockatoos going over, but they cannot get my lemons. And then into here, we're putting another 60 grams of butter. And we're gonna rub this through with our fingertips. So we're just gonna rub this until we've got a crumble. It's gonna be good, isn't it? And I know, Annie, you're gonna love this one. You just love your lemon recipes, don't you? And I reckon this one's gonna be about the right size for you too. And then once you've rubbed it all through, it should resemble breadcrumbs. No big chunks of butter left in there at all. And then into here, we want some lemon zest, and we want some finely grated lemon zest, a teaspoon of it. So I'm just gonna eyeball mine straight into the bowl. That's another pro tip that you guys have given me. Hang on to your lemon and run your grater over it. I can't say it feels any safer. It's a bit better doing it like that. You've just got to keep your knuckles out the way. So a teaspoon of lemon zest for me is about the zest of a small lemon, making sure we get all of it. So now we're just going to stir that lemon zest through, making sure it's evenly combined. Oh, and if you could smell this. And then the last thing we're putting in here is an egg. So we want to beat an egg and then put it in. Beat or whisk, whatever you want to do. And you can see why these eggs are just my favourite. Oh, they're so fresh and beautiful. I'm going to get my chickens in spring, so we'll be able to go out there and collect eggs together. I tend to get 4 chickens with the idea if only 3 lay, then that's 3 eggs. But most of the time, all 4 end up laying. I think it's because I spoil them. So in with our egg, and then we just stir away until that's nicely combined. It's a bit of a weird cake, isn't it? You got me thinking, Kathy. And that's how it's come together. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But anyway, we're following Kathy's instructions to the letter, so this must be right. And now we're just going to get 2/3 of this into our pan. Now Kathy uses an 18 centimetre spring tin for this one, and I don't have one. The only 18 centimetre pan that I had was this tiny little pan. Well, I'm going to use it and see how I go. So the first thing I'm going to do is cake goop my pan. And you've seen how good this stuff is working for us, even on those pastries. I couldn't believe that. My puff pastries always stick in the muffin pan. Not with this cake goop, they didn't, did they? And if you missed the recipe for the cake goop, it was 1/4 cup of plain flour and 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And I used olive oil, and it has been fantastic. You just keep it like that, keep putting it back in your fridge, and I guess when you get to the end, you just make a fresh one. So quick grease, and now I'm gonna line this with paper. Now because my tin is so small, I know that I need more height. So I've got a little bit of paper here, and I'm just gonna extend the height of my tin. And by doing that with my cake pan, hopefully that paper holds my cake in. And then we're just gonna take 2/3 of this and put it on the base of our pan. Or you're gonna have to eyeball this one. About 2/3, I reckon that's about 2/3. And now we're just gonna press this into the bottom of our pan. And then once we've got 2/3 of our mix pressed into the bottom of our pan, we just wanna run a little bit of heat back through our lemon butter or lemon sauce. And then we're just gonna pour that in. And then once we've got some heat back through our lemon, we're just gonna pour that all over our cake base, making sure we get all of it. Oh, that tastes just like lemon butter. Bit of a tap. Now the rest of Kathy's instructions say crumble the rest of your cake base over the top of that cake. But I don't think mine's crumbly. So I'm gonna add a little bit more flour to that. Maybe my egg was a little bit bigger. Maybe who knows? Let's just get a little bit more flour and just make this a little bit more crumbly. And that's a little bit better for me. So I probably added about another 2 tablespoons of flour. Right, now I feel like I can crumble this onto my cake. So that's what we're gonna do. Just crumble it on top of your sauce. I hope my base is gonna be okay. Maybe I should have added some extra flour to the whole lot. I don't like it when I get to this point and I think I'm gonna stuff it up on you. And then that's it. I'll try and tip it up so you can see it. And now we're just gonna get this into the oven and cook it for about 50 minutes. Now I've had my oven preheating at 160, and remember, mine's got a fan. If you don't have one, then put yours at about 180. We'll get it in, set the timer, see what happens. So as always, I'm just gonna set my timer for around the 30-minute mark. That just gives me a chance to have a look at it, see what it's doing, and also remind me that it's in there. I'll clean up some of this mess that I've flicked everywhere. Now an 18 centimetre cake is something that I don't usually make. I always go for the 20 centimetre or the 22, 24. But this 18 centimetre cake, it's gonna be a really good cake for when it's just you and your girlfriend or you and your special person. Just the 2 of you, I reckon, are gonna smash this cake. Now that was my 20-minute timer, and I'm pretty sure that I told you guys that this little cake was gonna cook for 50 minutes. Well, it's not, it's gonna cook for 35. So I just need another 15 minutes. And looking at that cake now, I reckon that's about spot on. I don't know where I got 50 minutes from. Kathy clearly said 35 minutes. I just made up 50 minutes. So after 20 minutes, it's just started to brown on the top. Now, Kathy says cook it for 35 minutes or until it just starts to go brown. I reckon another 10 minutes and we're gonna be good. Anyway, I'll see you in 10. I'll keep cleaning up. So at the end of the video, I'll take you guys on a little excursion and I'll show you what happens when you don't net your lemon tree. Mine's netted, my lemons are all safe and sound, and I can go out there whenever I want and get a lemon. But the neighbouring property, they didn't net their tree and the white cockatoos have gone to town on it. So I'll take you for a little walk and I'll show you what happens in a matter of days if you don't net your lemon tree. I learnt the hard way, and now the neighbour has just learnt. They're on holidays at the moment, and when they come home, they're not going to be very happy at all. Now my cake's got under 5 minutes to go, and it's looking fantastic. It's just started to brown on the top, and I think it's going to be perfect. It looks like a lemon crumble cake. And I'm glad I put the paper around the edges, but I'm pretty sure with that little pan, I'm not going to need it the next time I make this cake. What a great little cake. Now Kathy says serve this cake warm or at room temperature with a bit of fresh cream or a little bit of yogurt or a little bit of custard. Oh, you could serve this one for a dessert. Bring on these lemon recipes. I'm loving this one. Now Kathy is from Hoppers Crossing in Victoria. I haven't been to Hoppers Crossing. I'll have to look up where it is. Hoppers Crossing. Sounds pretty cool. And there must be a few more of you guys out there that are sitting on some good lemon recipes for me. I've still got plenty on the tree. I can hear those birds out there. That's them. It's like they fly over when I'm outside and scream at me because they can't get my lemons. Sucked in, I say. Serves yourselves right. My oven timer's about to go off and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. I'm gonna get this out. Let's get it out and have a look at it. What do you reckon, Kathy? It's cooked. I reckon it's cooked. So mine cooked in just over 30 minutes. Good thing I didn't leave it in there for 50. Don't know where I got that from. So now we just let that cool in the pan. Don't touch it, don't do anything to it, just leave it there. And while that cools, I'll take you for a little excursion and we'll go and check out these lemon trees. That stops me from poking at this cake. So this is my lemon tree. This is the lengths that I had to go to net it. I know it's not great, but it's working. It was just a last minute thing that I had to do. But you can see how many lemons I've got. There's still heaps in here. Look at them all. And there's such a beautiful lemon. This is what happens when you don't net your tree. This is what they can do in one afternoon. Every lemon, they just chew them up and then they just sit on the ground to rot. There's one, look at what they do. They just suck everything out of them. They can just sit up there for an hour or so, a couple of them, and just shred your tree that quickly. But that's it now. Every year, I'm just gonna make sure I net my tree properly or build something more permanent over it, so that that doesn't happen to my tree. So because Kathy said you serve this warm, I reckon we can start getting this out. And look at that, it looks fantastic. So I just quickly went and got some of my pot holders and put them here so that you guys can have a look at them. And I reckon, Kathy, because you sent in a lemon recipe, I reckon you're gonna like the lemon ones. So rather than cut this up in the pan, I'm gonna see if we can get it out. And it's looking pretty good. Once again, our cake scoop worked, even though I did have paper as well. Oh, looks like my base was really good. So you'll have to let me know, Kathy, if you thought I didn't have enough flour, because I'm definitely gonna make this one again. Oh, look at that. And there it is. What a beautiful little cake. Now, I don't know about you, Kathy, you said it serves about 4 to 6 people. You could serve anywhere from 4 to 8, depending on how much you ate for dinner, I think. But if you just ate that for afternoon tea, you'd want a pretty big bit of that. So I'm reckoning it serves about 6 too. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's been sitting there long enough that I might be able to cut myself a piece? I agree. Let's go in. So I'm just gonna go in, cut this open. Let's have a look at it. It's making all the right noises, Kathy. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful little tea cake. And you can see the lemon syrup through there. I can't wait to try this one, Kathy. I'll turn that around so that you can have a look at it. And I know you said serve it with cream, but I've got to just try it plain first. And oh, you guys are gonna love that. If you like that lemon curd or lemon butter, you are gonna love this cake. Now, sometimes tea cakes can be a little bit dry, but this is moist, gluggy with a crunchy crumble top. And you can see my base, it turned out perfectly. So maybe I didn't need to add any more flour after all. But that with a dollop of fresh cream for afternoon tea or morning tea, or you could even serve that with custard for a dessert. That is fabulous, Kathy. I cannot thank you enough, and I will definitely be making this one again. So I'm gonna go whip up a little bit of cream and put it with this and eat the rest of this piece. In the meantime, you guys get some lemons and get busy making this one. And don't forget, send in as many lemon recipes as you have. And Carol, don't you forget about those pickled Brussels sprouts. You send me that recipe as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this recipe, and a big thank you to Kathy for sending it in. So I'll go and finish my slice. You guys take care, and I'll see you for the next recipe. And I'll keep the nets on that lemon tree. And I will just give you all a quick reminder, when you send your recipe in and I make it, I'll send you out some of my pot holders. I make them myself from Bendigo wool mill cotton, and they are fantastic in the kitchen. And you can even choose your colour if you like. And I've got some really pretty colours going on at the moment. So send those recipes in and you can have your own little pot holders.